Hi boys and girls, today we're going to look back at the last stop on Market Street, and we're going to do two things. The first thing we're going to do is review those power words that'll help us understand it more. The second thing we're going to do is practice retelling a story. Let's start by checking out the power word. Power word is familiar. Say it with me. Familiar. When something looks familiar, it means that you have seen it before. For example, the people in this cafeteria are familiar with one another because they see each other every day. The next word is free. Say it with me. Free. When something is free, it can do whatever it wants. The ducks are free to swim around the pond. Our last power word is witness. Say it with me. Witness. A witness is a person who sees something and can tell about it. This mom was a witness to the dog taking all of the food off of the counter. It really is always so important to understand those words. That makes a huge difference when you're reading a story. Now that we talked about the power words, it's time for us to review what it means to retell a story. When you retell a story, you're telling everything that happened in a short way. You can tell the characters, setting, and then the main events of the story. That includes the beginning, middle, and end. As we're reading today, we're going to stop and think about all of those things so we can retell our story. Let's get reading. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The air outside smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. What do you think the outside air smells like freedom means? I think it means that CJ is happy to get outside. Being outside makes him feel free. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus and all this wet?" "Well, trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. Do you think she's talking about a real straw? No, she's not talking about a real straw. What do you think the straw is? You're right, the tree trunk is the straw. It's long and skinny, and the tree uses it to get water. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. What words does the author use to describe the bus? The text says it creaked and sighed and sagged. How does that make the bus sound? I agree. It seems like the bus is old and slow. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go after church? Miguel and Colby never have to go anywhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on the other side. Watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. Does CJ seem to want to go where they're going? I don't think so either. How could you tell? You're right, the text says that he felt sorry for himself. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses too, the man said, sniffing in the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed his hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask that man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered, "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. What does Nana say when CJ wishes for the boy's music player? You're right. She tells him it's better to have live music from a guitar player. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swinging over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. "Last stop on Market Street," Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks, broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows, and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. "How come it's always so dirty over here?" She smiled and pointed to the sky. "Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful." CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful wherever he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. What do you think CJ is learning from his Nana? I think he's learning to notice nice things in places he never thought to look. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now, come on." Now that we're done with the story, it's time that we use our 5-finger retell to tell what happened. That means the characters, setting, and the events, the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Go ahead, pause the video, and retell the story to someone around you. When you're ready to hear mine, you can press play. If you're ready, here's my 5-finger retell. The characters are mostly Nana and CJ, but you also get to meet some of the people on the bus. The setting seems like it's in the city. You see him at the church, on the bus, and in the soup kitchen. All of these places seem to be a part of the city. In the beginning, CJ is getting out of church. In the middle, he takes a ride on the bus. At the end of the story, they head to the soup kitchen. All right, friends, thank you so much for reading with me today. I can't wait to see you again. Bye, everybody.